All right, let's answer some questions from our adoring public. Lord Dagoth, will you bring on mURch or Alduin as your running mate? mURch is human, so he can relate to the subjects better. But he's significantly more powerful than them, so he's a possible ally. Alduin, as he's a firstborn of Akatosh. That alone should be a good point for him. Forgive this humble Nord fetcher if the ideas are not worthy, as I'm only trying to help the 6th house and the tribe Unmourned. Fear not, Enwa. You bring honor to the 6th house with your willingness to be of service. Let us consider your suggestions. mURch. He has admirable qualities. He really knows how to get a cult going. I can get behind that. And he has excellent taste in masks, but at the end of the day, that mask covers the face of an Enwa. No thank you. Besides, any power he has comes from Hermaeus Mora, and that is some ex-boyfriend baggage that Daddy Dagoth don't need. And Alduin, the Twilight false god? I see your reasoning. He is a being of immense power and could be a useful ally. In theory. But look at him. He's a dragon, you say. Well, you know what I say. I see scales, I see claws, I see his vile forked tongue. To me, a dragon is nothing more than a big Argonian. I can't even tolerate the little ones. Why would I want a big one? This is industrial-sized farm equipment over here. Hard pass. Look, I don't need a running mate. I am the immortal Lord High Councilor of the 6th house, the father of the mountain. The only companion I would ever choose is Nerevar, my moon and star. Now, there was a Chimer who could get the job done, and we all know what the tribunal did to him. Next question. Enwas. Am I right? Yes. It was a pretty nice speech, but when is he going to name the Altmer? All right, let's get specific. I call out the Thalmor and the Aldmeri Dominion, but never the Altmer specifically. Well, I should have. Let's break it down for any of you out there who are unaware of the minutiae with which these gilded Enwas classify themselves. The Altmer are the golden race of high elves who come from the Somerset Isles. Like the noble Chimer, they are descended from the original Aldmer. However, unlike the Chimer, the Altmer never got the message to leave Mommy's basement and decided to stay at home way too long. They act like petulant children in wet diapers who scream and cry. Who did this? Who peed in my diaper? Who would do this to me? Well, guess what, Enwa? You are the one who peed in your diaper. You, now grow up. Anyway, that's the Altmer. The Aldmeri Dominion is an alliance between the Altmer in the Somerset Isles, the Bosmer in Valenwood, and some farm equipment in elsewhere. And the Thalmor are a strong political force in the Aldmeri Dominion. Its members are almost exclusively Altmer. They are fascists and ethnocentric, but they also have bad qualities. For instance, these Enwas believe that the Altmer are the superior race. What a grand and intoxicating stupidity. We all know that the Dunmer are on top. The Dunmer are number one. That's where the babe comes from. Once Mer became Dunmer, then evolution was complete. The Mer were done. Done. Mer. It's right in the name. Anyway, when I say Thalmor or Aldmeri Dominion or Altmer, really, I'm referring to the same thing. A bunch of self-absorbed, arrogant Enwas who think that defeating some mongrel dogs of the Empire means that they are hot stuff. Oh, please, who hasn't defeated the mongrel dogs of the Empire? That's like killing a cliff racer and calling yourself King of Red Mountain. Please. Dagoth the god, what is your healthcare plan? Good question. I am Dagoth the sleeper, lord of the 6th house, and I have the best healthcare plan. It's tremendous. It's going to make Morrowind great again. Under my plan, everyone will have access to the best healthcare in the world. No one will be left behind. We're going to get rid of tribunal care, and we're going to replace it with something much better. Something that works. My plan is going to be so good, you're going to say, Dagoth you're the best. You're the greatest. Universal corpus disease for everyone. It's the divine disease. Don't know what it is. You will soon. Don't worry. Anyway, I promise, once you get corpus, you're going to have the strength and endurance of 10 Dunmer. Your ways of thinking will become more enlightened. Yes, you'll see. It's going to be great. I'm going to make Morrowind great again. Vivek lives in a city creatively named Vivek. Dude, you live in a building called Dagoth on a mountain called Dagoth That's a good point. But I think you're missing a lot of the nuance here. Sure, it seems like the same thing that Vivek lives in Vivek City and Dagoth the god, lives in Dagoth the place. But here is the key difference, and it's an important difference. Vivek Vivek sucks. Next question. I would have thought Meat Lover's Pizza would have been related to the Bosmer. You've never heard of the Green Pact, have you? A Bosmer would not eat veggie pizza if they were a true follower of the Green Pact. All right, I don't trouble myself with the intricacies of Enwa culture. If it ain't Dunmer, it ain't Dagoth, and I don't care. But I looked into this Green Pact again because it's been a while since I've put a lot of thought into the Bosmer, and wow, this stuff is brutal. You're telling me that these prancing, twinkle-toed cousins of the Dunmer are a bunch of carnivorous cannibals? They eat each other, but they won't cut down a tree because that life is sacred? All right, these elves are straight-up nuts. I thought the Orsimmer were the problem children of the family, but by the heart of Lorcan, this stuff takes the sweet role. It's always the quiet ones. Okay, next question. What? This one comes from Reddit? Oh, great, 4chan 2.0. All right, what's the question? Dude, after every single one of the past 5 low-effort voice videos you posted here were all downvoted to 0 with no comments, don't you think it might be time to consider that repeatedly posting this stuff isn't particularly appreciated? Do you think that I want to work this hard spreading my divine truth? Of course not. I want to chill with my ash vampires, microdosing Nirn root and communing with the heart of Lorcan. But I am a servant of a divine calling. I must spread my truth to save my people. What I'm saying is, I'm working here, man. Don't make someone's job harder than it has to be. How would you like it if I went down to the Silt Strider station when your mom was working and slapped the Dagoth out of her mouth? Or her cloaca, because I assume she's an Argonian. Enwa. Moving on. This is great, but for some reason, when I listen to it with headphones, the audio is sent to the left. I did test it with some music, and I noticed this. So it seems to be an EQ thing. The audio only comes out of the left speaker. Can only hear the audio in my left ear with my AirPods. Left headphone only gang represent. I'm a god. Everything I do is intentional. You hear my divine message in your left ear only? This is symbolic. The 6th house is the tribe unmourned, those who were left behind. The way we were treated was not right. You get it? See that symbolism? It's deep. It's totally not because I am a noob video engineer and encoded the audio into the left channel only. That's not the reason. Lord Dagoth, is it true Argonian meat tastes like chicken? Asking for a friend. It tastes like mud crab, but a lot chewier. It's not good eating. It goes well with kwama eggs, but what doesn't, am I right? Okay, keep asking your questions to the 6th house. The tribe unmourned leaves no question unanswered. The heart of Lorcan draws power from your subscriptions. Subscribe now. Akulakan will grant you a swift demise. Bring honor to the 6th house, the tribe unmourned.